It's time to get down to business on TK Business Live, brought to you by the members of the Topeka Independent Business Association. Now, let's join Tara Dimmick, owner and publisher of TK Business Magazine, as we take a look into the business world of Topeka, Kansas.
Hi, and welcome to TK Business Live. I'm Tara Dimmick, and it is great to be with you this Sunday. We've got a great show coming up. We've got Dean Clark Coco with Washburn Tech joining us to talk about some of the new programs they have going on over at Washburn Tech, and enrollment is happening right now. And then Vince Fry will be joining me. He's the president and CEO of Downtown Topeka, Inc., and we're going to talk a little bit about all the events that are happening downtown, as well as the redevelopment and the pocket parks and all of the great things that are going on in downtown Topeka. You're going to have to go down and check it out, either at an event or just go check out all the different pocket parks and go from one to the next and see what they have to offer. And then Andrea Engstrom with Action Coach Business Coaching and Bajillion Agency is going to stop in and give us a quick tip to help your business. I have Dean Clark Coco with me with Washburn Tech. Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
It is great to have you back in the studio. And today we're going to talk, school is about ready to be back in session, which just kind of blows my mind because it just got summer.
No kidding.
And so you have everything's going to be happening, but you have some new programs going on at Washburn Tech. Tell us about those.
Yeah, enrollment's coming on strong here at Washburn Tech. So a couple of new programs. Commercial truck driving is a new program that'll start up about mid-August, and we're going full-time with two different tracks on commercial truck driving. One is a short-term track, lasts 2 to 3 weeks, and get your CDL, or you can go the long-term program, about a 6-week program, and get a little more experience, a little more driving time. We know that, again, the need for commercial truck drivers, not only we always think of, the big 18-wheeler going down the road. There are so many positions available that related to CDL other than just driving down the highway. Also, along with that is, if you're going to go into the world, let's say, of diesel technician, and you're going to work for a company, they're going to want you to get your CDL so that you can drive that repair truck out there to fix those vehicles. So great opportunity coming up here at Washburn Tech on CDL.
Yeah.
Commercial driver's license.
CDL is really, my dad, every single guy that works for him, he's in oil field business, but every single guy has to have their CDL because they need to be ready to run out on a delivery at any moment. Right. So
yeah, and preparing yourself for, you never know what happens in life, and where an opportunity comes along and you're all of a sudden in a different direction, and a CDL is an opportunity to, one, independently make a living, but two, also enhance your employment opportunities with a company.
Definitely. Okay, so what else you got going on?
A couple other things. Maybe we've got cosmetology. It's not really related to commercial truck driving, but cosmetology.
Kind of the opposite.
Yeah, no kidding. There became a need in the community of Topeka where a private institution, closed the doors, and we saw an opportunity between Washburn University and Washburn Tech to create a cosmetology program under the umbrella of Washburn Tech. The advantage there, of course, is it's going to be a certified program by the state. And also then the cost involved in the program is about half of which is if you're going to go to a privatized program. So cosmetology is open up again about August 15th, and we have openings. And if that's a world in which you could see yourself in, there are a couple different tracks. You can go on a quick-paced track of 10 months full-time and going through the process, or you can take it half-day and go over a 2-year period and come out with your certification in cosmetology.
That's awesome.
It is.
It really is.
I'm looking for some good haircuts.
Because when the local place did close, I was wondering about that. So when I saw cosmetology, that kind of makes sense that that's coming together. Maybe we could
have you be our first haircut.
You can cut my hair anytime.
Well, I'm not going to cut it, but I bet we could get you in and maybe get you a discount on the first one. All
right, I'm in.
You're in?
I'm in.
Okay, let's go.
All right, we'll do that one.
All right. How about emergency communications?
Okay.
You might need that after we cut your hair.
Just because it's the first one. But
after that. Absolutely. The rest would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what's going on with emergency communications?
Well, that's one of which we all ought to be aware of. If you call the 911 centers, and we all want responsive and quick response to our needs. And about a year ago, the emergency communications folks here in the community came to us and said that they were struggling with getting enough applicants and then the trained applicant even after the applicant. And we had a conversation about what they were doing and how they were presently doing it. And we said, you know what, maybe we can help. And in all seriousness on this one is that when we do call that number, that 911 number, we're looking for help and we need it now. And we need someone to listen to us. And so in partnership with the fire department and the police department, the sheriff's department, and Washburn University and Washburn Tech, we came together, and we think we've designed a program which will help train and prepare students for the world of emergency communications, not only right here in the Topeka area, but quite frankly, first of all, in northeast Kansas and even maybe beyond. In partnership with the sheriff's department, they're helping us with the adjunct faculty member, many years of experience, and then also the training lab will be off-site. It will not be on the Huntoon campus. It will be in a facility that where the sheriff's department communications area presently is. So, that's one that, again, exciting opportunities, but changing lives immediately upon receiving that phone call and getting that training.
Well, and what a great partnership. I mean, I think that's what I keep hearing over and over about Washburn Tech that just makes me feel good is you hear it, you see a problem, you see an issue, you hear from the community about what they need, and then you go and solve it. Yeah,
and that's the neat thing about technical education. And the ability for the university to allow that to happen also is to be nimble and to be responsive and to meet a need of the community. And who knows, maybe down the road, 5 years from now, maybe a program's kind of worked its course and we modify it and adjust it into whatever industry's morphed into. So that's the fun part about tech ed. It's quick, it's nimble, and responsive.
Wow, that's very impressive. Okay, so you've got the 3 new programs, and then you've got all the other programs that are happening.
Yep.
And school starts August 15th, and enrollment is right now anytime.
Yep, it is. It's going strong. We anticipate enrollment increase, but we'll find out around the 15th, 16th of August. But there's still opportunity for, as we've often said, if you want to be at Washburn Tech, we're going to find a way for you to be there. And if that meets your needs or helps you or someone you know out, then we want to be the one answering the phone and listening to what you would like to do. And then let's figure out a way for you to give yourself other opportunities in life.
It's incredible. And I was telling Dean Coco before we got on the air how I have a brother who went to Votech. I have a sister that went to Votech. I have a brother-in-law that went to Votech. And all of them are making more money than I am most years.
Yeah.
And it's because of that preparedness that they have to go into the workforce and do some really great work.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the value that a tech school can bring to a student.
Well, and the other part of that is that we've often fought the image of, the Votech. We're a technical college. And so these are actual college credits that yours, you get to keep them. And or you can move them forward to another institution, whether you want to go and get your associate's degree or your bachelor's degree. We say this very simply: for the students who complete our programs and they truly, really want to go to work. And it's kind of interesting. We have the siren in the background going off for the noon siren, and we talked about emergency communications at the same time.
How important is that?
Great timing on your part.
Yeah, I did that purposely.
I appreciate you doing that for us. But the opportunity for a student, if a student really wants to go to work and wants to change their lives or have an career opportunity. And they want to do things that industry's asking for, show up, be on time, be there ahead of time, be drug-free. Placement's not an issue. Placement is not an issue for that student. We have more people looking for our graduates than we actually have graduates. And even though our enrollment has gone up, we can place them all if they truly want to go to work and have a career in some field.
It's incredible. And the retirement wave that was about ready to come.
Yeah.
And is starting, really.
I'm looking at myself. Yeah.
But it's coming, right?
It is coming. I hope so.
And with that coming, the number of jobs that are going to be needed in a lot of these areas that are specifically needing great training and some skills, that is really what you're addressing as well. You're capturing the students who need the training and then addressing it with the industry. Can you talk a little bit about the retirement wave?
Yeah, we hear anywhere from the next 5 to 10 years, those of us that were considered the baby boomers are going to take it off and maybe play more golf. And the issue is, how do we replace the workforce?
Yeah, how?
Absolutely. And we were just visiting with our friends from Engstrom Rand Train the other day, and they were talking over the next 10 years. They're talking about 50% of their folks of looking at retirement. And one of the fields they're looking at is the automation controls. And so how do you control an environment using today's technology and the training that needs to be established so that those employees, of which they're needing hundreds of these folks in this world. And so that is a big concern. The economic development is basically, do you have the workforce for that to take place? And so that's our goal, is to reach out to companies.
Well, it's pretty incredible. The work you're doing is great. Finding the different programs that are needed in the community, being nimble is just excellent. So how can someone get more information and enroll at Washburn Tech?
Well, call Washburn Tech and call us on the phone, or go to the website and, click on more information or contact information. How about just come by on Huntoon Street there and drop in and say hello. And again, if a person wants to be there, we're going to find a way for them to be there one way or the other. So give us a call, go to the website, or stop in and let us know.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Dean Coco, for joining me.
Thanks for having us on again. Thank you.
My name is Ken Daniel, and the name of my company is Midway Wholesale.
What is TIBA? TIBA is advice and support. TIBA is information and education. TIBA is a voice for small businesses.
You're going to meet other small business people. You're going to have an opportunity to adopt some of the things that they found to be successful, and you're going to make some lifelong friends.
The Topeka Independent Business Association is strong because of its members. Become a member today by visiting topekatiba.org.
Vince Fry is joining me. He's the president and CEO of Downtown Topeka Incorporated. Welcome, Vince.
Thank you, Tara.
And I have enjoyed lots of conversations with Vince. He is a great asset to Downtown Topeka Incorporated, and I think that you've been a big part of this whole entire transition for downtown. And we just did the article about some of the stuff going on downtown in TK, and then the Capital Journal put out the 44-page issue that talked all about downtown. I mean, it has been huge right now.
Well, it's a topic of conversation for sure. And, this has been going on for years, starting with the Heartland Visioning back in 2008, where this was a priority of the community. And so consequently, here we are, 2016, 8 years later. But it's exciting, and people have been working on it for years. A lot of money's been invested, and so, again, it's a topic of conversation simply because it's been so significant for this community.
It really has. And speaking of the money being invested, the pocket parks and all this great stuff, talk about that. That's
Well, the city council in 2012 approved the money to do the infrastructure along Kansas Avenue between 6th and 10th, and that was, resurfacing the streets, curbs, putting in new gas and water lines, things that really needed to be done. And many of those had been underground for 75 years or more.
Yeah.
But the private sector said, we would like to see more done to it. They said, there's only so much money, and you're going to have to raise it yourself. And we said, great, we'll go about doing it. So we had a goal of $1.8 million to do these enhancements. We have raised close to $3.8 million. And all of the enhancements that the private sector is funding is now complete. There's a couple little things yet to go in, but for the most part, this whole project has been completed.
Wow. Well, and talk about, people need to go down and see these things, see the pocket parks and all of the different pieces of what is going on downtown. You've got, I don't even know where to start. I'm thinking about Burlington Northern Santa Fe and the train that's just got put in. It's like a wind piece that's been put
Kinetic art sculpture, yes, and security benefits.
Hasn't it been announced that he is going to be
He was the artist selected to do the cauldron for the Olympics in Rio next month, yes.
Is that not amazing? We have someone who has the artistic ability that has been chosen for the Olympics, and it's just outstanding, some of the pieces that are out there.
Well, we have pieces like that. Obviously, we're going to have a limestone life-size bison that is being carved and will be ready later on this year. But, we wanted to tell the history of who we are as a community. So we have sculptures of famous Topekans up and down the avenue, and these are done by artists that are very internationally renowned. And so there's a lot of art. But, again, we wanted to tell our history, and we wanted to have things that kids, families, and people from out of town could come downtown and enjoy and get an idea of how we all became who we are today.
Well, I'm also excited about the Mars one. So really colorful. It's amazing. So you need to go down there and you need to check out downtown and what's going on just with the visual aesthetics that have been added to it. And then, so talk to me a little bit. Okay, so I want to talk about events, but you just had a huge event. And it was supposed to be downtown, but then the rain came.
Right. Well, people said for a year and a half, what are you going to do to celebrate the completion of this project? And so I started thinking about it long time ago, and it was my vision to have the band Kansas performing on Kansas Avenue. They're from Topeka. I just thought it would be appropriate, and I was able to secure funding from local companies. And quite frankly, it was pretty expensive. Mm-hmm. The stage alone was almost as much as the cost to bring the band here. And so obviously our goal was to have it right on Kansas Avenue. We had 28 food trucks planned. We had beer gardens. It was going to be something that celebrated the completion. Unfortunately, a few days prior to it, we got word from our local weather people to expect 5 inches or more of rain, possible flooding, lightning, and we had to make a decision. And believe me, a year of planning this, the only thing I was worried about was weather. Mm-hmm. It's the one thing I couldn't control. Fortunately, I had secured the Expo Center as a backup, and we made that decision, as difficult as it was.
I was going to say, how hard was that decision to make?
It was excruciating. But all of our sponsors, everybody realized it was the right thing. And quite frankly, after we were out at the concert Saturday night at the Expo Center, I looked out about 8 o'clock, and it was pouring.
It was pouring.
And it would not have been fun. I don't even know if the band would have performed. But we made the right decision, as tough as it was.
Yeah, I'm sure that was tough. All day long had to be tough, as the weather was kind of tinkering around with
I've never prayed for rain, but I prayed that day for rain.
To make that solid decision be verified or validated. Yeah, I thought that as it was all happening.
But as it turned out, it was a great event. The opening acts were fabulous. The band Kansas was phenomenal. There were 7,000 people there. We were able to move a lot of the food trucks into the exhibition hall. We had the musicians that had been going to perform down Kansas Avenue performing in exhibition hall also. So we made the best of it. We could.
Yeah, you did. And you've got tons of going to be the things that were going to go on downtown, like the urban slide and some of those. Now those have been moved. And
right.
So,
they had to cancel also that day, and the Freedom Festival that the Rotary's doing. So they're rescheduling to the 30th of July. Visit Topeka surveyed the community several months ago and said, what festival would you like us to bring to Topeka? And the number one selection by the community was a cycling event. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, cyclovia, whatever it is.
Cyclovia, which I'm pretty sure is wrong as well.
They chose that, and it's going to be on the 29th and 30th downtown. So we have a band on the 29th. It's a Friday on 8th Street. All these bicycles are going to be there, people cycling all over downtown. There's going to be a glow ride, and there's going to be the community's largest workout is moving downtown on the Capitol grounds. So it's going to be a big evening. But on Saturday, we will have some bands on the avenue. There will be food trucks, along with all of the cyclists and all that activity, plus the urban slide, plus the Freedom Festival. So what we didn't accomplish in the celebration on the 2nd, we plan to do that on the 30th.
Yeah.
Weather permitting.
The weather will be beautiful. I know it will.
Yeah.
I know it will. Okay. So, one of the things that recently I've talked to Dean Coco about over at Washburn Tech is how students are coming out of school, and a lot of them are making their decision not based on the job necessarily, but based on where do they want to live.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Well, it means that quality of life is a real factor. People want to live where they enjoy the opportunity to do the things that they want to do. We, as a community, have not grown population-wise. We, unfortunately, have lost a lot of our young professionals to other areas. We want to change that. And downtown that's vibrant is a key in retaining and recruiting young professionals. And so that's one of the reasons why a lot of these corporations gave to the downtown effort, because they realize a downtown that's vibrant is essential to their success as a business. I've always said a downtown represents a community's pride and prosperity. And our downtown, like many across the country, had kind of fallen into neglect over the years. But we're seeing that change all over the country, and certainly that's true here in Topeka.
Yeah, definitely. So Vince, one of the things that my family has we loved the Field of Dreams, right? That movie. That was one of our favorite. My dad actually even built a field. We always joked, if you build it, they will come. Uh-huh. So there was that thought process on like, okay, do you build it first or do you bring the businesses? How does this work? And really, we had businesses down there already, so that was already supported. And then you built this beautiful aesthetic area where people are really going to be able to enjoy being downtown. So now we're starting to see businesses come downtown. So what's happening on the business side of downtown?
Well, I think one of the most important things to share is that the empty buildings that people talk about, look at all those empty buildings. They've all been purchased. Over 25 buildings have been purchased on Kansas Avenue alone since 2013. And they're all purchased by local investors. One of those was several buildings in the 900 block that have been announced to be this new Cyrus Hotel. Mm-hmm. Very significant and very important to the future of downtown. But the majority of those buildings that have been purchased by local investors have plans that are very significant. Restaurants, retail, residential. We have people asking to move downtown all the time, and we've run out of opportunities. So the old Assumption Grade School is being renovated, 22 loft apartments by Mark Bernheide. Those are almost full, and it's not
even open
completed
yet.
That's right. But people want to move downtown, and we will have restaurants. There's one that's been announced in the old Canson Grill location, and others to come. So when people drive downtown and they see these buildings, they'll also notice that there's signs on them that says this has been purchased, great things are coming soon. There are construction companies with their signs on them. It just takes time, but that is the next step in this renovation and revitalization of downtown. And, that's the exciting thing that we can all look forward to in the near future.
So in that process of a business thinking, I'm interested in downtown, is coming to Downtown Topeka Incorporated a good place to start?
Sure. We can connect them with the people that own those properties or suggest buildings that might be appropriate for them to consider, because there are still some that would be available to be purchased. But there's new buildings that are being built. And so we can certainly be a resource to connect them with the people that might be appropriate.
Okay, so let's go back to talking about events, because I have talked with both you and Edie over at Downtown Topeka Incorporated, and there is a ridiculous number of events happening every single year downtown. Yeah. And I don't know that people know about it. So anything you want to mention of some of the events, and also where can people find out about these events going on?
Yeah. Well, we want to make downtown the entertainment center of Topeka. And so several years ago, we created 35 new events for downtown that we do annually. But, for instance, we have our Jazz and Food Truck Festival on the 8th of October. And last year we had nearly 5,000 people downtown, and they walked away just saying we have to do something like this almost every month. It was so impressive and fun. But that will be a huge event with lots of food trucks and great music on the 8th of October. We have movies on the Capitol lawn. There's a chocolate festival that's going to come downtown, which will draw thousands of people.
From everywhere.
Exactly. We have concerts every Wednesday from 11 to 1 on the Avenue, or brown bag concerts from mid-May through August. We have a second Saturday concert on 8th Street every month from May through August and into September this year. There's music all the time. Plus, we've got T-Pack and the Jayhawk Theater, and there's just so many opportunities for entertainment. This past weekend, we had a reggae festival downtown. We have parades. We have runs. We have walks. We had our Brewfest last month that drew
that was amazing.
About 1,800 people.
You sold out, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. People are having fun downtown, and they will continue to do so. And we hope, when restaurants and some of these other places open up, that people will say, hey, let's go downtown tonight because we know something fun will always be happening.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great note to end on. Yeah. Thanks so much, Vince, for being with me.
Hey, my pleasure.
I have Andrea Engstrom with me, business coach with Action Coach Business Coaching and agency founder of Bajillion Agency, to give us a quick tip. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you. One of the areas that I love to help my clients focus on is having a very strong sales approach and a sales script. So not just great marketing, but also a plan for how they're going to close those deals when they come in. So what I have my clients always do is start with a positioning statement. So I'm going to share our magic positioning statement with you. This is what you say at the beginning of any sales meeting or any meeting with a potential partner. You say, the purpose of our meeting today is for me to put myself in your shoes by asking a number of questions so that I can truly understand what you need and help you to get what you want. Does that sound fair enough? So what happens is you've just said, I'm just going to ask you questions so that I really understand what's important to you and then see if I can help you to get what you want. Now, if after that statement, you launch into telling them all about your services and everything that's great about you and your company and why they should do business with you and how it's really good for everyone if you work with them, then you've just lied to them and not asked them a bunch of questions. But if you say that statement up front, then the best thing you can do in a sales process is just to ask them questions about what's important to them and maybe at the end make a recommendation of your next steps together. And that's always going to be a winning approach. So set yourself up for success with this positioning statement.
That was Andrea Engstrom, business coach with Action Coach Business Coaching and agency founder of Bajillion Agency. Thanks so much to my guests, Dean Clark Coco with Washburn Tech, Vince Fry with Downtown Topeka, Inc., and Andrea Engstrom with Action Coach Business Coaching and Bajillion Agency. If you're interested in more information about the enrollment over at Washburn Tech or learning more about the programs that they offer, or maybe your business is interested in partnering with Washburn Tech, go find out more information about them. You can go to washburntech.edu. That's washburntech.edu. And if you're looking for some entertainment or know what's going on downtown, go check out downtowntopekainc.com. That's downtowntopekainc.com. And a big shout out to our sponsor, the sponsor of TK Business Live, which is the Topeka Independent Business Association. You can find more out about them at topekatiba.org. That's topekatiba.org. Have a fabulous week.
Thanks for joining Tara and her guests on TK Business Live. Join us again next Sunday at 11:30 to hear more from our community business leaders, entrepreneurs, and people making a difference in the landscape of how business is progressively moving forward in Topeka. TK Business Live is brought to you by the members of the Topeka Independent Business Association.